Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. All right, so this week you guys voted to hear why eating healthy foods isn't always enough for weight loss and perimenopause. This is a great topic because I know it can be very, very, very confusing to women. And I speak to women every day, and I know you're confused. And you're like, I'm eating healthy, I'm doing all the right things. Why is the weight not coming off? And there's a reason. But the thing is, it's good news. So I'm going to get into it today. I'm going to give you a few examples. So eating healthy obviously is important. It basically means eating, not ultra processed foods, eating mostly whole foods, eating for nutrition. So when we are looking to lose weight and just be overall healthy in perimenopause and menopause, you want to focus on, we've got our macronutrients, which are proteins, carbs, and fats, and we've got our micronutrients, which are vitamins and minerals. So obviously you need both. So I think when people say, I'm eating healthy, but I'm not losing weight, they're focusing a lot on the micronutrients, which is important too, right? Um, Vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, all that kind of stuff, super important. But I'm going to give you some examples. So I don't know if you remember a book that was written, I don't even know, maybe it was the 80s or the 90s, a long time ago, and it was called Fit for Life. I think it was called that. And they had something in there that made a lot of sense to me. And as you know, I was dieting for years and years and years, and I did that for many years. And that is eating only fruit first thing in the morning. Technically healthy, right? Because you fasted while you were sleeping, and then to break your fast with breakfast, you would have fruit because it pretty much digests itself in like 20 minutes. It's got a lot of fiber and high water content and nutrition in it, and it's easy on the digestive system, so technically healthy. But it's not good for fat loss at this age. And the reason is, as women going through these hormonal shifts, we've got, our progesterone and estrogen are fluctuating and then going down, and our cortisol, our stress hormones, going up. And that's famously known for putting fat on the belly, which is where a lot of women at this age experience it, that menopause belly, right? So if we've got really high cortisol in the morning and we're just having some fruit for breakfast, which is technically healthy for cleansing the body, we're not balancing our blood sugar properly. So we want to cut through that cortisol so we can eliminate and minimize that cortisol belly. And the best way to do this is to balance our blood sugar. So eating healthy, fruit only for breakfast, does not equate to fat loss at this age. For fat loss at this age, we want to balance out that blood sugar. The best way to do this is with a good combination of proteins, carbs, and fats. And you want to aim for at least 20 grams of protein first thing in the morning, like within an hour of waking up. 30 grams is even better. So healthy versus eating for fat loss, two very different things. Now, another one I see often is salads. Women are eating salads, healthy, right? Like vegetables. Like, how can you argue with vegetables? Vegetables are freaking healthy. But if you're dieting and you're trying to keep your calories low and you're just having a plain salad for lunch, well, number one, you're going to be pretty freaking hungry, right? And you're not going to have good energy. You're not going to feel great. We need the proper nutrition in that salad. So even though the vegetables are healthy, we also are going to need some protein with that. We're also going to need some healthy fats. We're also going to make sure we're getting enough fiber, because vegetables are one type of fiber, then we need the other type from some type of whole grains or something more starchy and hearty. So it's just about being strategic. So we want to think about, when we add some protein to that salad and some healthy fats, those are good for balancing blood sugar and balancing our hormones. And that's going to keep us full and satiated, and it's going to give us enough energy to get through the next meal. And even just having protein, even if you didn't work out, eating enough protein is going to help to preserve the muscle mass that you have. And the more muscle you have, the higher your body burns energy, calories, even while sitting there. So you want to preserve what you have. So nutrition is, I always say 80% of the game. I would even say closer to 90. So you get your nutrition dialed in right, and you're pretty much there. You'll get to your goals. So you want to be eating strategically, not just healthy. Another big one I see, this is a huge biggie, and let me know, actually leave a comment if this is you, because I see this one often, is women who are eating healthy foods, but in the wrong quantity. So just because it's healthy doesn't mean it's unlimited. Like you absolutely can have too much of a good thing. So a simple example of this, and it's one I see often, is like raw nuts. Like raw cashews, almonds, they're healthy foods, but they are very energy dense and it is extremely easy to overdo them. Like if you've ever sat there with a jar of almond butter, I mean, if you've ever measured out what an actual tablespoon is, you put it in the tablespoon and you swipe the knife over it, like it's pretty disappointing, right? Like it's not very much. So it's very easy to overdo it. Granola is another one, super energy dense. I mean, a serving size is so tiny, it's more like a condiment size that you would require. Protein bars are another one. Read the label of a protein bar. A lot of them are loaded with sugar. If they're not, they've got a lot of, chemicals and unhealthy sugar substitutes, which can destroy your gut health. And gut health is at the cornerstone of all of it. So healthy and fat loss, and maybe when we were younger we could get away with it more. You're eating super low calorie, super low carb, and you're losing all this weight. Well, yeah, our bodies could handle it then. They can't handle it now, so we just need to be a little bit more careful and a little bit more loving and a little bit more supportive of our bodies. Now, I know it can sound confusing, but the very good news is there is a high probability, if you are eating healthy, like skipping breakfast or having only like fruit for breakfast or like a yogurt cup or something, and a bear salad for lunch, there is a high likelihood that you could be eating more than you are now. And this will allow your body to start working properly and release the excess weight. The added benefit is you're going to feel a heck of a lot better. You're going to have more energy. You're not going to be hungry. It's going to keep you going between your meals. And it's probably going to help you with your sleep too, if that's an issue. So I want to leave you with that today, but I want to hear your comments below if any of this resonated with you. Especially picking at foods too. Like if you're not eating enough at your meals, that's when people tend to pick at foods throughout the day. And you think you're not eating a lot, but if you really write it down through the day, what you're eating, it can be pretty surprising. Sugary drinks, all that kind of stuff. And you're like, I'm not really eating much. I don't know why I'm not losing weight. Bring some mindfulness to it. But it's really about being strategic at this age. So that's the good news. And I know it's frustrating because you think I'm eating healthy, but nothing's working. The weight's not coming off. This is inevitable. It's my hormones. I can't lose weight at this age. Not true. You just got to work with your hormones, and they want to be fueled properly. So to wrap that up real quick, we want to focus on, of course, micronutrients, which are healthy, vitamins and minerals, and we want to focus on the macronutrients, which are proteins, carbs, and fats. Make sure you're getting enough of them in the right quantities at the right time. Cool. So I also have for you guys this week, last week I had it, I have it still, it's a free carbs guide. If you want it, just comment carbs, or you can send me a private DM with the word carbs. I'll send it to you for free. It's also at the first link in my bio. I'm going to retire that one at the end of this week, so if you really want it, I would recommend grab it now. But I always have a freebie at the first link in my bio regardless. Anyway, hope that helps you guys. Leave your comments below. Again, just because it's healthy doesn't mean it's strategic for fat loss. We want to make sure we're balancing that blood sugar properly, which is super, super important at this age. And it's going to also help with your hunger, and it's going to make you a whole lot happier and a much higher likelihood of keeping the weight off once you lose it, because it's something that's very sustainable. Anyway, hope that helps you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.